to 62. Let's get to Crawl from 2019. It's directed by Alexander Aja, stars Kea Scodelario, Barry Pepper, and the synopsis is: gigantic alligators swarm around a young woman and her father as floodwaters engulf their home. If you haven't already checked it out, I did cover Alexander Aja's Horns a few weeks ago. And having done that, figured might as well cover this one as well. It's very much a B genre film. I think it's very rare that it's that, but it has a very bare bones concept and narrative. It's pretty much just this young woman trying to save her father, who has not been answering his phone during a hurricane. She later finds him injured in his basement, and then angry alligators come in as the floodwaters slowly get higher and higher, and they have to fight for survival. As I already mentioned on the Horns review, Alexander Aja has a great eye, and this movie looks really good. The color palette, the locations, the effects all are put to good use and work well. The lead actress, Kea Scodelario, I haven't really seen her in a whole lot else. I don't think she's been in a ton of stuff, but this was my first exposure to her. She's very good. Barry Pepper, such an underrated character actor. Whenever he pops up in anything, I'm always excited. I'm pretty sure I saw him first in Flags of Our Fathers, maybe, or The Snowwalker, one of those. And they work well together. I buy them as father and daughter. This is also produced by Sam Raimi. When the daughter first gets into the basement and encounters the alligators, she gets dragged away. When the cops show up, who we meet early on, and there's that really dramatic shot that was big in the trailers when he's hanging over the doorway to the basement, then alligator jumps out and grabs him and spins him around and kills him. When it cuts back out to the exterior and there are those looters trying to take stuff from the gas station, the alligators swarm in, grabs one of them, I think, and each alligator grabs a different limb and then pulls them apart completely. All of the shots underwater are very effective, of the alligators swimming around and you don't know where they are. And there are definitely callbacks to Jaws and similar creature features, but Jaws is obviously a big influence. Banging on the pipes to distract the alligators so they can get away. And overall, the use of sound is very well done. As the movie progresses, it does definitely take liberties with how much the average person, or anyone really, could survive within such a short time. They've both been bitten multiple times by the alligators. They've been dragged around. They've been hit by intense floodwaters. So you do have to have that suspension of disbelief of, okay, they're still going, but that's obviously not realistic. The shots or sequences when the alligators are crawling through the sewer tunnels, then one pops up out of the dirty water and attacks the daughter. And that's followed up by her in open water, and all of them are swarming, trying to get her. When they get out of the basement and they get into the house, there seems to be a decent amount of use of practical effects, like real water. Maybe I'm crazy there, but I think they use real effects as much as they could. I also really like how, considering how much I love dogs and all the lengths that I would go to save my dog if I was in that situation. It seems intentional that they make a point of showing the dog always in danger. You thinking, oh, it's definitely gonna die right now. Like you see it walk to another floor, it disappears for a little bit, or it has to go and grab something and bring it back, and you're always thinking, this is it. But spoilers, never does. He survives, thank goodness. Trapping the alligator in the shower was clever. And then there's that great shot when she does get bitten yet again, and she has the flare in her hand, and she's being spun around underwater, and there's a really good use of different color palettes like the blues and blacks against the flashing red. You know that they're going to survive at the end. There's always going to be a sense of danger, and you think they might die, but in the end, they do get rescued. And that's satisfying, despite it being predictable. There aren't a lot of big issues at all. Probably the only thing writing-wise that gets on my nerves a little bit is the whole apex predator thing with the daughter and the father. Her being this swim star, or falling behind, I guess, and trying to prove it to herself and her dad. And when they do reconnect, he's like, you're an apex predator. You're better than them. You can swim faster. It's a little on the nose, a little goofy, but it's not a big part of that dialogue between them, so it doesn't hurt it that much. The score is quite good. Oh, and lastly, one of the best special effects shot in terms of scale is when the levee breaks and it floods the house and it floods that whole area. I would highly recommend this if you like any kind of genre, horror, action films. This is easily one of the best ones of the last 6 or 7 years. That is a heavy 4 out of 5.